name is Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
Welcome back to the final day of the Winter Spectacular. As a heads up, this is the final day of video from us for a while. We'll be taking tomorrow and the rest of this week and all of next week off because it's Christmas. And I don't need the people from Scrooge visiting me.
Is it Christmas though? I had no clue. There was no indication.
True, this subtle reminder.
I'm nothing but subtle. But hey, we're glad that you're here. We're going to start off with a contest. So we have a contest from Bezier Games, and this is for a game called Sink or Swim. It's a lie. It's for a game called Silver. To enter this contest, all you have to do is email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word golf. In the body, you need to put two things. One, you need to put your address so we know where to send it if you win. And two, you need to tell us how many cards allow you to view one of your own cards. So, oh boy.
This is... Hey-oh!
Look at that. This is
okay, Rodney
Sink
Smith.
or
I see
Swim. Is also another game from Bezier Games that you should check out. A cooperative game about synchronized swimming.
Roy. I put it right over the graphic, Tom. This is ridiculous.
Just
Put it
on
over your
lap.
face.
There we go. That works. Anyway,
Okay, all right.
welcome to the Dice Tower Summer
I had two.
Spectacular. All right,
right,
so
this is,
anyhow, so I hope you win the silver contest. Okay, a couple other things before we get started in today's episode and everything going on today. We have many reviews coming up today. In fact, the three of us will be back later on at 2 o'clock telling you our favorite games of the year. So, we're taking next week off, but then we're going to be back and doing lots of videos after that. And of course, all the videos here from this thing will be posted again as separate videos in case you missed one of the top 10s.
Right.
We're running a Kickstarter. That's going to be starting up on January 9th, 2023, and that is how we operate. We hope that you enjoy it. The studio that we're in right now is a direct result of last year's Kickstarter.
Yeah.
If you want to know about our Kickstarter when it starts, you can sign up right now. We have a sign-up page. Just go to dicetowerkickstarter.com, and you can sign up for that. We also have a merchandise store. If you would like to wear cool shirts, Roy was wearing one yesterday. You can, and we have mugs and things like that. Lots of cool things to check out. There's going to be a end of year sale on that soon, so keep an eye out. That's going to start later today. So that's a way to support us, and that's at dicetowerstore.com. I think I got all the things I'm supposed to announce.
I think so. You got the Kickstarter. You got a top 10.
It's going to be Christmas soon.
It's going to be Christmas soon.
Right.
New year, new Kickstarter.
We're taking a break. See you next summer.
So let's go to the news.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at news. Some interesting news this week. Okay, so first of all, we have BoardGameTables.com is rebranding as All Play because, as I've said pretty much every time we've reviewed any of their games, they don't just sell board game tables anymore. They have amazing board game bags. They have lots of board games themselves.
Right.
They have the shelves that you see behind us. In fact, we already mentioned it, but we'll mention it again. All Play will be sponsoring the Dice Tower in 2023. So they were founded 8 years ago. Man, I didn't realize it's been that long.
Yeah, they've been doing games for a shorter amount of time.
Sure.
But yeah, tables and bags and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still doing tables, and they
Yeah.
have very, I'll tell you what, I think their tables are the easiest tables to put together I've ever seen. This nice little coffee table, which you can see part of in front of us, is a table that they make. But, I mean, we put that together in what, like...
Yeah, it's very quick. And
Oh,
all
wait,
their...
I put this table together.
Yeah,
Oh.
that says something, folks.
What?
Okay?
Look,
That
if you
says
ever wanted,
something.
if you wanted a testimonial, there you
I'm
go.
basically the Mikey from Life's commercial, but for furniture. Even Tom could put that together.
Right.
Correct.
I wish that was a joke.
No, and I'm going to keep on saying it. In fact, let me break it down for you some more. Tom is really bad at
Thank
putting
you.
things together.
We could take a picture of the desk in the front room there, and yeah, you'd see.
Oh, that's right. That never got fixed, did
Never
it?
got finished.
All right.
What didn't get fixed? Oh, there's a desk you put on back, like a party put
One
on
of the
backwards.
shelves is backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
So you see the exposed
unfinished
wood.
side.
Okay. Let's go to more
Tom
news.
is really bad.
Let's get a picture of that desk. No,
Hey, have you ever heard of Kickstarter? Tabletop games this year made $1.5 billion.
that is amazing.
Now, I'm trying to figure out if that's 1.5 billion. No, it's 7 billion. No, that's 1.5 billion since it started.
Okay.
Okay.
It's 7 billion since the platform launched in 2009, and tabletop games are more than 20% of that total.
It's amazing. It really is, yeah.
That's right, because I went and looked at their different things that they talked about, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Kickstarter a little bit later in this episode, because some of my predictions for 2022 involve the Kickstarter.
I think it is interesting how Kickstarter, I mean, such a massive part of it is board games.
It is.
And it kind of became that, because you can obviously Kickstart whatever you want, but it's interesting, at least maybe it's my own narrow field of view, but it's become almost synonymous in a way with board gaming.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is interesting about the platform, and you could expand that to crowdfunding in general, is that it has fundamentally changed this hobby. There's no question about it. And some might say for the good, some might say for the bad, whatever. Games have gotten bigger. They've gotten blingier. They've gotten more produced. You know what I mean? So it's a fundamental change.
I agree,
You know, before crowdfunding and now. You think of Alien Frontiers, right? I mean,
It's weird. Alien Frontiers was like made 35,000, and I remember when I was out, I was like, "Oh my word!
this changes everything.
Wow, 35,000!"
Yeah.
And now we're like, "That's a small project."
Yeah, it didn't fund 35,000. That's a shame.
But yeah, no, it's interesting, and yeah, so it's here to stay at least for a while, for
I think
sure.
so, yeah.
Also here to stay, your future robot overlords. AI simulation of diplomacy is now available. So this game, which came out in 1959, there's a new computer program called Cicero from Meta, which basically this algorithm was trained by playing itself, but it played human opponents online, I guess. Most of those people assumed it was a human.
Wow. Now,
And it plays in the top 10% of games.
Okay.
I haven't played diplomacy, but from my understanding, this seems like such an odd, because so much of this is human interaction.
This actually worries me.
and negotiation and lying, and you know what I mean?
Weird. Yeah,
So
yeah.
the way diplomacy works is very simple. You have a bunch of pieces on the board, and on your turn, you write what each piece does.
Okay.
You write it down, and then you reveal them, and you see what happens. To go into a territory, each territory can only hold one piece.
Okay.
So if I go into territory and you go in that territory, we both bounce, nothing happens. If you're in the territory and I try to move in, I bounce back, nothing happens. So the only way I can kick you out is to go in and have another piece support me. Well, at the beginning of the game, you have like 3 or 4 pieces. So I need you to support me attacking Z. But Z needs, so that's where the negotiation comes in. You actually, each round of the game is 15 minutes where you go around, you go to different rooms, you talk to each other, and then you write those orders down and reveal them. Online, it's same thing. It's just by chatting and stuff. It worries me that this is the game they're training through AI.
I know.
Do chess. I don't care about chess.
Right.
I don't care. Teach them,
Go.
well, Go's been done. But I don't care if you learn Puerto Rico or La Havre. Diplomacy, I don't need robots learning how to do that. It's not
how
just
to manipulate people. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. That's step one of a much scarier future.
Of HAL, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't that
still-
like
it's
what's
neat,
that?
though, but I
what's
mean-
that test? I kept thinking Turing test, but that's not it. What's that test that a machine has to pass to seem human?
Isn't that the Turing test?
It is the Turing.
I think it is.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
This is creepy. Obviously, you can't see this thing, so it won't pass like a realistic, But it's kind of, if it seems real to people online interacting with this, isn't it kind of passing that test?
Can it feign madness? Or anger, I mean? Or feign madness, yeah. But can it feign anger?
Maybe it's not feigning it.
I guess it
maybe
depends
it does
on-
get angry.
maybe it depends-
You've upset me, Thomas.
I think it depends on what words were programmed into the algorithm. I mean,
It's so interesting.
Are curse words part of the plan? Can have those been...
Right, does it have a personality?
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, that's interesting. All right, let's go to some game news. Cosmos has a game called Inside Job. This is mixing The Crew with Werewolf. It's a cooperative trick-taking game like The Crew,
Okay.
but there's someone with a secret role trying to derail the whole thing.
Does it
Is it a
surprise
robot?
anybody that now there's going to be riffs off of cooperative trick-taking games? I think we're going to see a slew of these.
Well, this is their game, so Cosmos did The Crew.
No, I get it. I'm not saying there's anything nefarious. I'm just saying, look, you get a hot game, riff on it, iterate on it
So
a little
weird,
It's
bit.
going to
though.
happen. It's going to happen. yeah.
Throw a traitor
This
in
would be a terrible game to teach. Like I already said, The Crew's hard to teach people
Yes.
who don't know trick taking, but you can. because
Right.
it's cooperative. You're
Right.
working together. When there's a hidden traitor thrown in the mix, this feels like a niche game.
This would be, I think, remarkably group dependent, even more so than the crew, in that everyone would have to have a strong understanding of trick taking, because otherwise the game, I think, would potentially fall apart.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, Lord of the Rings. Do you like Lord of the Rings? There's more of it coming.
Ooh.
This is the Lord of the Rings Adventure to Mount Doom.
Okay.
This is
It's a kid's game.
Cooperative dice-based game from Michael Reineck. What
Okay,
has
I'm
Michael
back in.
Reineck done?
Pillars of the Earth.
Yeah,
and
he's
all
done a
that
bunch
jazz.
of stuff.
All right. So Frodo's going to destroy the ring. There's dice mechanisms. I don't know. It sounds like a Euro version almost of War of the Ring a little bit.
That's kind of what he does,
Yeah.
actually, because he did that Witch of Salem game. It's his design, and that's
Oh.
basically Euro Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
Like very Euro Arkham Horror, and this kind of sounds like very Euro War of the Ring or
Right.
whatever, you know. That's his bread and butter. I really like his design, so I'm looking forward to this.
Interesting.
That cover, though, which I think we've discussed before because it looks familiar.
You're right. We did
seems
discuss that.
very kiddie, right?
It does.
Like that cover is like my first Lord of the Rings. It's, it's got this goofy look to it.
It does. The from what I can see, the game board maybe not as much, but the cover, yeah.
The board kind of looks like a roll and move a little bit.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, you never know.
All right.
Tom loves it.
Last time I complained about the Terraforming Mars movie, but there's also a Bang movie,
Ah.
which is a PG movie. Apparently, I don't know if it's a PG movie, but anyway, it's a group of boys from Bologna. Is it Bologna or Bologna? Bologna. Who are
Italy.
passionate about cinema and games.
Okay.
Part of this is already available.
I think you can maybe on YouTube or I know the trailer's on YouTube. I just screenshotted that picture from a YouTube video trailer.
Yeah, he says he's released several chapters of a feature film. I didn't know feature films other than that Tarantino Hateful Eight had chapters.
Oh, look, it's a
Yeah,
brave
you
new
do whatever
world.
you got to do to get some traction.
Yeah, they make it clear this is not a Hollywood level
They
production.
definitely, yeah. Whenever they make that clear, it's like, okay, just so you know.
It's gonna be this is low budget.
I think they're going for
Lo-fi.
kind of that spaghetti western.
You know what? I'm
feel,
probably
you
going to
know.
go hunt it down and watch it just to see.
Yeah.
Then I'll come back and complain.
Right.
All right, do you like fish? Do you like cats? There's a game called Fish and Cats
Wow,
with a
that's
Z.
like, it's push and pull for you, Mike.
I know. What do I do here?
Mike loves cats.
I love the cats.
Hates fish.
Hates fish.
Do you feed your cats fish, like tuna and stuff?
Their favorite, flavor profile is fish. So yes, yeah, they like
Their
the tuna. They like the
profile. You know
shrimp.
this?
So
Look,
when I go to Mike's
You
house,
try to
there's
give
like
them, you
fish,
try to
Mike
give them like
finishes them.
beef or chicken flavored food. Nah. It's got to be. It's got to be
meow.
tuna. First of all, they get plenty of real tuna, but they also want like salmon and shrimp flavor. They're more up your.
I do
your
love the
guys'
fact that
alley.
my dogs get the exact same meal every single day of their lives.
Yeah, and the cats over there are like, oh, shrimp again.
Yeah, not only do they get
Really,
meals, they
Delicio?
get little.
Do
they get
better.
Little, they get little snacks from my wife throughout the week.
Anyhow, this
throughout
is
the day too.
cat sneaking out to run a Korean fish stand.
Of course, as they do. As they do.
But while they're owners sleep, these sneaky cats sell their wares, perhaps sneaking a tasty tidbit here and there.
Oh, tasty.
But this is where you're going to be in, because
Okay,
you might
I'm
not
in.
have been in so far, but this is where
I'm
we're
not
in.
in, yeah.
Players wear cloth cat paws on their index fingers
He's in.
and try to snatch up cards the fastest as they come up.
So it's a speed game
It is.
in which I'm supposed to be wearing some stupid thing.
Yes.
And then it's a speed game.
Yes.
So you need to play this while wearing those tatami shoes, the cloven hoof shoes that we covered in crowd
Yeah,
surfing.
yeah. And riding luggage
And
around the table.
and the sauna.
You
hat.
could ride luggage around the table. I hate everything about it, Tom.
Right. It's terrible.
All right.
Except the look.
The funny thing is,
That's
it's
cute
a
cover.
pre-existing game that got picked up by Heidelberg too.
Oh, okay. It's
So.
a really cute cover. That's the best thing I can say for it.
Yeah.
Although that cat does look like he's wearing underwear on his head.
It's a sauna hat.
All right. All right. Gardeners is
I do
coming
love
out
that cover.
because
I love that cover.
Because, yes, I really don't get. Someone said the other day, like, Tom, you complain about so many gardening games and yet there's so many Marvel games. I'm sorry, there's more gardening games than Marvel. That being said,
Especially lately. Yeah.
Where's my Marvel gardening
no,
game?
but I do get that this is a much more approachable thing for
Hulk
the
plant.
vast majority.
Yeah.
Oh, I would actually buy Hulk Hulk the Gardener. I would definitely buy that game.
That would be really funny. Yeah, it could be a push your luck thing. where we're all set a card to plant, and if our total cards go over a certain amount, he just smashes
them. I love it.
Instead.
All right, but that's not what this is.
Kickstarter
this is a silent cooperative game.
It's from Sit Down and the designer of like a Magic Maze, right?
Okay.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was just about to say this sounds like Magic Maze because there's a fickle and capricious king who wants his garden arranged, and you have to cooperate them, although the king is constantly changing or forgetting what he said in the past. You do this in complete silence and in real time with a sand timer.
Yeah.
Man, there's a bunch of games in a row that you want to play.
No, I'm all in. Yeah. Hulk, thumb down.
Hulk trash.
I think it sounds interesting.
I like the cover a lot.
DC Deck Building is still around. They're getting a multiverse box because actually I've lost track of how many large boxes there are for the DC Deck Builder. This is going to hold the cards from multiple sets. I notice it doesn't say all the sets.
That's because
wild.
They've got so many of those Rivals boxes, and I mean, they've gone in so many different directions with this.
But if you're like, I don't need another box, guess what? This comes with a multiverse pack in it, which has locations, superheroes, supervillains can work together because, when the multiverse is involved, yada, yada. It's $55, which is not particularly expensive for, I think, the amount of content you're getting here, which is...
Because it comes with a box and an expansion, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of cards in here. There's 22 card dividers. There's tokens, foam spacers. I love foam spacers. I wish someone would sell foam spacers just by themselves.
I agree. I'm in need of some of those. What's going on?
Actually, if anyone knows about that, let me know.
Hit me up, Internet.
Especially since
Email me at tom@dicetower.com and let me know about that.
Especially since more and more inserts are being made for sleevers, and so you oftentimes, if you don't sleeve, have a whole bunch of extra space in them.
Right.
Yeah, I could put these in a lot of games.
Right.
Those foam blocks are great.
They are good.
Maybe I'll have to pick this up for the foam blocks.
Z gets it, takes the foam box, throws the box away.
There's a hole in the market that only you can fill. Zsfoam.com.
Maybe we'll add these to our Kickstarter. They'll be blue foam blocks. All right. The Hunt.
Foam guard.
Mike is excited about this game.
love this
Matthias
cover.
Kramer and Engen Kunter, I think, have announced The Hunt. This is an asymmetric two-player game of attack and bluff.
Same publisher as Resist, which was in my number 2 solo games of this year.
Same artist?
Same artist, the graphic designer, Spanish graphic design, or graphic artist.
Okay.
Graphic novel artist. This cover
is
to
solo?
me is... No, I think it's two-player
No, it's a
asymmetric.
very two-player game.
I'm all in.
It looks great.
The German players stay hidden but sink 5 cargo ships. The other person's hunting down the sub.
Oh, I'm super in.
Doesn't
That
that sound
sounds
great?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Wow.
A proven designer, a co-design, but
that looks
graphic
awesome.
design.
It's just like, no joke, most anticipated of the year. Boom, this just shot onto it.
It's amazing looking, yeah.
To be fair, there was nothing on that list.
Now it's number 1.
Well, what about this one? Once Upon a Line. This is a new story-driven puzzle game that's coming to Kickstarter from Lucky Duck, the mega company that suddenly.
Yeah.
In this cooperative game, you are godlike Zephyrims that are going to influence the actions of heroes to help them bring balance. This sounds like that Peacemaker's game.
A little bit, yeah.
Anyway, it's an alternate Earth timeline where humanity has been decimated by a pandemic, which,
So far, so good.
which by the way, decimated means lose 10%. So I bet that's anyway.
People, you know what? People misuse that word all the time, myself included.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I think actually that should just be an actual.
They should just change it. They change the dictionary for everything else, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Look at
insects
Tom
have also
pulling out the knowledge.
That was good
I
stuff.
see you, Vassal.
That's
You
right.
put on Christmas clothing and suddenly you know how to build a table.
He's a wordsmith.
It's very nice of you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, insects have grown to gigantic sizes in this game.
Now I'm interested.
So far, so good. Humans are gone. Insects are huge.
Every choice you make in this game is tethered to the grid of destiny.
I like
a
grid.
grid
I like
covered in
Destiny.
scratch-off ink
Yes, legacy-esque.
that
Now
lets
you're getting
players
my
reveal
interest.
words, traps, or other secrets.
Yes.
I love it. So far, so
Yes.
good.
There's 9 possible endings. It's for
Yes.
1 or more players.
Okay, I like
And
that.
plays
I like other
90
players.
to 120 minutes. So is it like an escape room game?
I don't know. Is it a reset? Can you only play through it once?
Is that ink poisonous?
correct? Will that huge spider web destroy me, decimate me, perhaps?
No, you just lose a hand.
That's like
All right.
90%. Yeah. Okay.
I like it. This is my most anticipated games of the year, guys.
Well, here's another one that's going to go to your most
Go
anticipated
ahead.
games. Descent Legends of the Dark Act 2, The Betrayer's War. So, Descent Legends of the Dark Act 1 came out in 21? Yes. Didn't come out
That's
this year.
the big blue box.
The big blue
Yes.
box.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
The one
right.
that they announced by accident on a non-live stream that they pretended was live?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. It was well done. I remember.
So anyhow, I was curious if it sold enough to warrant
Right.
more.
Yeah.
I guess it has, because Fantasy Flight definitely drops anything that doesn't sell at this point with their new Asmodee Overlords.
Okay.
But this says it's, I guess, just more stuff. It doesn't really say a whole lot about it.
More stuff.
It's probably a new campaign.
It's a second
isn't
act.
it?
I'm assuming they haven't really said a whole lot. I'm wondering, do you even need to play the first, or is this a standalone game?
Oh, that's interesting. It could be.
I would assume this would be standalone, considering how much the original one had. But that was a very pricey game.
And I would assume they want you to have it, so not standalone.
Ooh, that's interesting. We'll find out. All right, our final piece of news here, pretty big news actually. Mythic Games decided to regroup, is what they said, and so they are shrinking essentially. They're going to focus on what they said, their main properties, which are the ones you see here: Hell of the Last Saga, Darkest Dungeon, and Anastyr. These are basically, I think, also their last 3 Kickstarters.
Okay.
I think.
That sounds right.
Okay. Okay.
But basically, they really downsized. We knew this, and then Sam, who used to be our dice tower, was working with them, and they downsized, and so he moved on. But he wasn't one of many.
Sure.
There was a lot of people. They downsized that. They're also downsizing their games. But they're doing so in a very interesting way. They sold 3 of them to CMON.
Right.
That's Super Fantasy Brawl, Enchanters, and Steam Watchers.
Right.
I don't know anything about Steam Watchers. Did anyone here play
It's
that?
a fairly recent one that got mixed reviews. I have not played it.
I have not either, no.
It's a cool theme. Which I think Mythic did very, very well, having cool worlds, having cool themes.
Right, world building was always good, yeah.
And there's another thing I saw, which, once you keep talking here, I'll mention.
Yeah.
Right. Super Fantasy Brawl got mostly positive reviews. I was okay on it, but it definitely has a lot of cool miniatures. People like it. And then Enchanters.
You like that.
That also got mixed reviews, but that one I did like.
Enchanters is good stuff.
Yeah, I actually played that. I enjoyed that too.
But then they also sold properties to Monolith. So Reichbusters and Solomon Kane. Now these are Solomon Kane's the one I'm actually surprised that they gave such a strong property, right?
Yeah. I just wonder, there must be reasons, that maybe just being able to maintain that.
They're focusing.
Yeah.
It's actually funny, because if you had asked me a year ago who made Solomon Kane, I'd say it's Monolith.
Well, no.
Just because of how it looks.
I
and
actually
stuff.
confused these companies a lot in my head.
I absolutely
And now
confused
this isn't
them.
helping. I know Reichbusters, they mentioned Monolith actually is the one who put out a bit of a statement saying that they liked the theme, the world, and they would be reissuing some of this with, what did they say? Improved gameplay, tighter rules, blah, blah, blah. So
Okay.
they bought the IP largely, I think.
Right.
And they're putting out their own version of Reichbusters. Who knows when, who knows how.
Yeah.
But that's what their statement said.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting. They're like, okay, so they're going to have another go at this IP, which is a very cool setting.
And that's the thing. Look, I mean, I think we all liked the kind of like Wolfenstein type of a vibe.
Right.
The gameplay just didn't work for us.
Right.
at
That
all. I can
being
speak-
said,
if I may speak for
if
us.
there's anyone who can't write a rule book, it's Monolith.
That is an issue, although I think they're starting to work with Paul Grogan more, and maybe that'll
We'll
help.
see. I have actually not heard the feedback on the new Batman rule book.
I don't know if it's been released yet. I haven't seen it if it has.
The weird part for me is that they're, again, whatever the reason may be, they needed the money, they really do want to focus. I don't know what their deal is. But the fact that they are downsizing and the games they're keeping are just the new stuff.
Yeah.
It's not that it's their biggest stuff.
No.
It's just the new stuff. Like Hell the Last Saga is not out. So who knows? It might be
think
amazing. It might bomb.
Right.
Darkest Dungeon's being released right now. I know
And then
that
the
it's
other
going
one
on.
I'd never heard
I
of,
hadn't heard of that one.
Anastyr.
I think that's their latest Kickstarter, I think.
Is that, and I'm
don't-
assuming also not out.
I think so.
I don't even remember covering that in crowd surfing. I just don't remember that property.
We
at
might
all.
have.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mythic is not on the ropes, obviously. They were already kind of on the ropes. This whole regrouping thing, maybe this works.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it work for lots of companies, board game or not. They're like, we're getting smaller. That's a good thing. It could be.
Yeah.
you know, and I hope it is. I don't want to see any companies get, you know, decimated. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. All right. Well, that, folks, is the news.
Hi everybody, I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And we are in a different studio today.
I know, this is crazy. We're here in the Dice Tower headquarters.
Yeah, I just want to touch stuff.
I know, right? I know. There's so much to look at here.
Not
it's
gonna
crazy.
touch stuff.
No,
Not
don't.
gonna. But we're doing shelf storage or sell today.
It is.
And
It's gonna be fun.
And today we're doing a game that honestly, it's one of those that I know it's getting time. It's an older game, not really old, but Thanos Rising.
Yes.
This was the first in the Rising series, and now there are so many different Rising.
Yeah,
videos.
you just played one this week.
I did. There's
Yeah.
Plankton Rising, there's Dark Side Rising, and on the Spectacular, we played Avatar Rising.
Which you really liked playing.
I
on.
loved that. Now, the thing with the Rising series is when it came out, everyone loved this. This was like, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And now, as they go on, it's different themes, but they do add different things.
Yeah, you were saying how the Avatar Rising added a different track that made it really interesting.
Yeah, it's got a ruin track. And the ruin track really adds a lot to it.
Yeah.
But the Rising games themselves are a great, not only gateway game, but gamer game.
I was going to say this, when we first got it, this was the perfect gateway game. But I do feel like now King of Tokyo is still a great gateway game, and it hits the table more than this.
So you went back to that.
Yeah, I went back to King of Tokyo over Thanos Rising, yeah.
This is one that the biggest problem I have with this is, and this is a problem with a lot of people are going to have with their games, is the more you've tricked it out, the more you've put in inserts. Like this one, we were chasing down promos all the time.
Yes.
And I tried to find every promo I could, put it in there, and now it's got pretty much every promo out there. It's got a nice insert, but it doesn't hit the table.
No, it does not hit the table at all, yeah.
And isn't that exactly what a game is for?
Right,
So-
and I was thinking too, like, I feel like I like the theme, but I play Marvel United more than I'm going to play this.
Right.
If I'm playing a Marvel game, you know.
So
Yeah.
it's been replaced. It's older. There's other games that do it better, supposedly. But the theme is Marvel. But like you say, there's other Marvel themes
Yes.
that'll hit the table.
Yeah.
So shelf storage or sell on this one, it's going to be weird. What is yours? Shelf storage or sell?
Mine is sell.
Really?
Yeah, I know,
Mine-
it hurts. It hurts.
It does. Mine is shelf for this.
What?
Only because when it does hit the table, it's a blast. And if you've got those people that don't want to play a Yahtzee-style game of the King of Tokyo, I've played this with non-gamers, and because the theme just is so immersive, although it is an older MCU theme, it's still one of those that grabs people. And for me, I think this should stay on the shelf.
Okay.
So-
well, let's see where it ends up.
Yeah, so really, love to hear from you to see what you guys think about Thanos Rising compared to the other Rising ones as
Yeah.
well. So, all right, hey, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, guess what? Our top 3 is on food again. Our top 3 meals of the year.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Will there be any
Top 3 meals.
crossover?
Don't think so. Oh, maybe. There might be. There might be.
Well, it's easy to say no if they're all with your wife. And then,
2 of the 3 are with my
Well,
wife.
I
Those
have a
will not be
crossover.
crossovers.
all right, well, you're first.
All right, my number 3 here was sushi, a sushi outing that I had at the retreat with the Phelps were there and the Chapmans were there, and so it was a thing where we here in town in Miami went to a place I'd never been to. Very much a hole in the wall. That was one of those places. It's a shopping strip that I would drive by in the past and not think about it all. And there's like a hidden nice sushi place in it.
Wow.
The outside looks like not much, and you go in there, it's like, wow, this has been here? So, yeah, it was lovely. And again, they're like, the people that were there were kind of connoisseurs of this stuff. And I was just sort of like, okay. It was good. I'm not nearly as experimental as they were with my sushi, but what I had, I very much enjoyed. So that was during the retreat, and I had some good sushi.
Me?
Yes, sir.
My number 3 was a lovely meal I had with my wife relatively recently at a place relatively local called Bola Gastro Bar. It's a Spanish tapas place. but they were doing something special. I guess there was like a Taste of Miami thing going on, where local restaurants would have special menus.
You're right. That has been going on. Well, I think it's over now, but yeah.
Yeah, and so...
Thanks for the heads up, guys.
Yeah, well, you missed out on some delicious chicken and waffles, believe it or not.
I remember you talking about this.
I never ordered chicken and waffles, but it was at a kind of a fancy place, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something out of my wheelhouse. There you go.
Did you give Roy heads up on your list?
I might have given him some pictures. So there is my actual chicken and waffles meal that I ate.
Wait, that's the actual meal?
That was my plate, yes. And
we don't have pictures of our meals because we ate them.
Then that was in my stomach. Look, you take the picture first, then you ingest, and then you reflect.
Stop taking pictures.
You reflect.
Thanks for only taking
no
one
more
picture.
pictures, only the one. Only no after picture, just before. Lovely meal. Chicken and waffles, which I almost never order, but it was so good.
All right, my number 3 was post Dice Tower East. Very stressful con because it was the first time we ran it ourselves. I was very tired at the end. And I went to Disney Springs and ate at an Irish thing. I wanted to eat at Marimoto's. We were going to eat there, and it was full. I was like, let's try this Irish food. And it was amazing. Also, the whole meal was very shawarma-like Avengers. Everyone was just sitting around. But
right.
It was really good. So really enjoyed that, and I'm definitely going back.
Nice.
Okay. All right, my number 2 was that hibachi place that we went to when we were in Vegas for Dice Tower West. That we were...
It was a really loud place.
It was loud. It was like in a mall, too, or like attached to the outside of a mall.
Was I there?
You were there, yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember we were sitting near the door, and it was like, Corey, I was there, you were there, Camilla.
Oh, that was Benihana.
Yeah, I bought the candy cigarettes.
That was good
walking
meal.
through the mall.
I don't
was a
remember
good
what the
meal.
place was, if it was a Benihana or some other, that kind of place. But
it was good.
It was really tasty. Like, the atmosphere was good.
Yeah.
There were fun people there. We were like, oh, look at this table, they're being wild. And
there was
the
a
guy
bachelorette party at the other table,
There was something
right?
strange happening.
Very wild table. Yes.
Lots of good shrimp, lots of good food. Yeah, it was a good atmosphere, which is, of course, going to lead to it's going to be conducive of a good meal as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Benihana, Benihana in Vegas with these clowns.
Let's take a look at Mike's next picture.
My number 2 was my birthday meal with my wife. We went to Key West. And she had actually gone to this place with her son before, and she was like going over, talking about how great it was. You take a little ferry to this place called Sunset Key, which is
I've heard about that.
A 5-minute boat ride over to this little island. And I had a lovely steak frites, which is, there it is right there, steak and French fries. And
that's what it is. But you got to say it in French to be
steak
fancy.
frites. You pay about $20 extra for the frites. But yeah, no, it was a really nice meal. And your wow.
Wait, what's that ketchup for?
It's not
Ketchup.
ketchup.
That's not ketchup, that's
the
blood.
ketchup. The ketchup's for the fries.
The fries are already seasoned.
Well, yeah, you don't have to use the ketchup. They're not dumped
Is that
over
a
the top.
bloody steak? Is that what that is?
No, it's a sauce. It is absolutely not a
Is
bloody
the
steak.
sauce mostly composed of blood?
The sauce is made up of, blood and capillaries and, it was delicious.
Mike is by far, by the way, if it's not apparent, I'm over here like, oh yeah, the hibachi thing. He's by far the foodiest of us all.
And you guys are for sure.
And the pickiest, right?
And the pickiest, probably.
I am the worst with that. But yeah, it was also
100%, yes.
it was
Next time
also-
we do this, let's just have him do a top 10 and we'll sit here.
That's fantastic. It was also a lovely environment, waterside with my wife for my birthday.
All right, I have a picture for my number 2. My number 2 was Thanksgiving, not because of the food, but the food, well, I made it.
You made, wow.
I did,
Yeah, wow.
But I had a good time with everybody. And I didn't make all the food. I didn't make that icing. That Camille
My number
brought.
1 is going to be something I got for breakfast.
I don't care. I enjoyed
made.
that meal. I enjoy hanging out with you guys every once in a while. And that was a good meal. Done. Over to you. But the...
If you would have waited long enough.
Roy's bringing up a picture.
Okay, hold on. Vent for a little bit. Talk
I
about
did
the things
have...
you made.
The turkeys were really good.
Talk about the things you made, Tom. What did you
I didn't make the key lime pies.
No,
key lime
you
pies are
didn't,
good, and
you
the tarts.
discovered them, though.
Oh, here we go. Get ready.
I do feel a little
There it
bit
is.
like Christopher Columbus.
Okay, here we
Bam!
go.
Look at that. Oh!
Look at that.
That is a...
Look at those deviled eggs. Oh, no,
Talking
that's
about
mashed potatoes.
smorgasbord.
I'll tell you what, though. I spent so much time on this meal, and the most popular thing is at the bottom where Camilla made some icing. People dip things in.
Did they dip their turkey in the icing?
That icing's the reason I'm on the diet.
I was putting my frites up in there, okay?
All right. Anyway, what's your number
Frosted
one?
frites.
Frosted frites. My number one, Tom, is also something I did with you, and Camilla was there. This is that shrimp boil thing we went to when we were in Tampa.
Oh.
We went to like a little convention after some event.
I almost put the other restaurant there, that old Spanish restaurant. That was a really good meal, too.
Yes, that was also good. Yeah, that was really good. So we went to this place, and it was just, again, like a shrimp boil thing. You get whatever you want. They put it in a bag. They bring you the bag. You get all messy. We went there. Then we went and had some. We went to a bakery after that.
Oh, I got
and
those.
You were like getting some little.
Oh, yes, that was amazing.
I don't know if they were cupcakes, little cupcakes or something.
Weren't they cookies or cupcakes?
Cookies, cupcakes.
No, they were cookies.
Know. Yeah.
Because cookies are easier to carry. Anyway.
It was a fun outing. This little convention was very small. It was a very intimate thing, but the area around and the places we ate and the things we went to, that was fun. The boil was a neat time. So that's my number one.
My number one was not even close. It was the first night for me in Germany. Checked into our hotel, trying to get a feel for the area. Myself and Z and Chris and Camilla just kind of walked around the corner, and we come across this festival of lights that Essen was doing. Beautiful. Lights everywhere, music being played, people strolling down this kind of boardwalk, food trucks and things, and all kinds of cool stuff. And, Z's getting some churros, and Chris is getting some, I don't know, maybe some type of wurst,
Me and Ken are just eating steak and fries at a restaurant. Didn't know this was occurring.
And then suddenly, in the distance, like a shining beacon, with all of these lights around, I see Haus der Doner. And I'm thinking, I'm getting me a doner kebab. And this thing was life-changing. This doner kebab was so good. And then I wouldn't shut up about it. And then finally, on that last night, everyone else kind of went there.
Well, here's my question, okay? Because my number one is also this.
Yeah.
But it's the meal we had together. But your number one is when we weren't there.
No, it's not that, though, Tom.
Did you hear that?
The reason why, if you'll remember, I didn't really eat at that meal that I went with. I went with you guys. I had
we
fries.
were all there.
I had eaten already or something, or my stomach wasn't right or something. But
okay. But also, this place is amazing.
It was fantastic.
And I also enjoyed it because of the lights, the
Yeah.
atmosphere. Essen was over. We
Yep.
were all just sitting there like, and normally our last meal of Essen is pretty terrible because we're just all tired.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were still all tired, but it was a good
was
way
great.
to end.
It
So
was
that's my
great.
number one, too.
We
I
had
thought
nice-
that was great. I thought that might make your list.
I had I thought it was amazing. I had some falafel there.
Yeah,
You guys had
falafel
the
wrap.
kebabs, but
Yeah.
which I'm not interested in. But I had the falafel. It was so good that I've been wanting falafel.
Yeah. We had a
ever
nice
since I
ice
had
cream
that.
afterwards, too.
Yeah.
It was really good.
This was
Always.
fantastic.
It was a great
This
meal.
was
I've-
top 5 for sure.
All righty, those are our top 3 meals. Let's keep going.
Hey, Board Game Smorgasbord. I know we're right in the middle of the Winter Spectacular. What a great show, right? Hate that we weren't there in person, but our schedule's been taking us everywhere, so we were out of the ability to get to go. But today I wanted to talk about a concept. Somebody asked me in the chat 2 weeks ago when we did Smorgasbord, they said, why don't you just print that model? Oh, sorry, welcome back to Board from Plate to Table. I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower, Board Game Smorgasbord. But somebody asked me, why don't you just print that model straight up? And there's a reason I'm going to show you can't just print that model straight up on a resin printer or even an FDM printer. So I'm going to take you to some screenshots of Chi2 Box and show you exactly what would happen with a model if you just tried to print it without supports and things like that. Now you could print it up and down, and maybe that's what that person was asking. Why tip it at an angle? But the reason I tip my prints to an angle is because you want that cleanness to build up as opposed to having some kind of funky spots that might be from support. So we're going to look at what happens if you don't support and what happens if you don't have the right angles and stuff right now in this screen grab. All right, so we're going to load up Chi2 Box here. Now this is for resin printing, but the same principles apply, and I'll show in another video about FDM printing. We're going to use that same Wolverine print that I talked about last week. So we'll drag it, drop it right onto the plate here. Now again, this is set up for my Elgo Jupiter, so this is actually a pretty nice sized file, but the Jupiter's print bed is just a pretty big print bed. Now I'm going to flip it up to where it's not just laying on its back, and so we can see it. So the question came in, why don't we just print it like this? Well, you could, but let's talk about why you need supports first. See, the claws are just hanging here, and I'll show you what I mean by hanging. So as we drag down here in just a second, you'll see that the claws, they don't exist connected to anything. So as you print this, because remember, it prints from the bottom up. So the bottom of that rock is going to print first. you just have these claws hanging in midair here with nothing supporting them, which means that they're not connected to anything, so they'll just not print correctly. They'll fall off and they just won't exist on the final product. So if you were to add supports here, though, in this position, you get this shape to where it looks like there's just all sorts of support. That looks fine, right? Except the base. So all of those dots, that's all going to make these lumpy shapes on the bottom. You're not going to get a clean, smooth print on the bottom. So the reason I tip it back at 45 degrees roughly is so that you get a clean shape. So the smallest point starts forward. So that tiny part of the rock down there is going to print first, and it's going to build itself up so the rock itself becomes its own supports. Now, yes, that's a lot more supports, but everything is now supported, so there's nothing just laying flat. Everything comes up at an organic angle and uses itself as its own support, not to mention the supports that are there. So I hope that clears everything up for why I typically tip my prints, and then I also use supports. Everybody definitely have to use supports, otherwise you're going to just have a mess of plastic in your vat. Nobody wants that, or resin in your vat. No one wants that, or you're going to have your FDM printer just spinning out spaghetti, and so we don't want that. So hope you enjoyed this week. Merry Christmas. Looking forward to a great 2023. See you on the cruise. Make sure to check out the Dice Tower merch store, as all the orders that are in currently have all been shipped out. So we are up to date. We are ready to go. We've got some new exciting ideas for 2023, so we will see you soon.
Okay, so every year in December, I make top 10 predictions about the following year. And now it's time to see which ones I made last year and how they turned out.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't remember these, so I'm intrigued.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and guess that
I'm actually
of the 10 you did, 3.5 happened.
I'm going to say 6.
All right. Well, I'm going to actually go backwards in the order I did them because some of them will spoil other ones by the answers. Okay, so...
Hi.
And I'll also let you guys decide if they worked or not, because there's a few I'm kind of iffy on. So number 10, I just said, by Q4 of 2022,
That's now.
the shipping crisis will finally be kind of semi-normal.
You get
We'll be
half
back
one.
to
I
normal.
I think
half
you get
for
a point for that. I think
half
so.
a point.
It's definitely still higher, and it's never
Right.
going to go low.
Right.
But I think things are getting shipped on time now.
I think so, yeah.
0.5.
All right. The next one I said, the highest funded board game project of 2022 would be on GameFound rather than Kickstarter.
I'm assuming that's incorrect.
Well, the highest one on GameFound was the Tainted Grail,
Okay.
which was $4.4 million.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But the highest on Kickstarter was Marvel Zombies, which was $9.03 million.
So
All right.
super wrong. I'm taking away your half point.
1 for 2. 1 for 2.
Next one I said, either Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia would be purchased by some company. That one of them would be bought out.
Oh,
Okay, that's interesting. And
they were not, right?
Well, you say it's interesting. This you don't remember. This was y'all's prediction that you gave me.
Oh.
okay.
Also, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
okay.
I'm going to take away half your point for listening to me.
All right, next one I said, Asmodee would make no major acquisitions, but would do things to make gamers happy. I don't think they made any major acquisitions this year, actually.
Did they do anything to make gamers happy?
I don't think they made
That's
any.
so vague. What does
That's
that
very
mean?
vague, yeah.
Well, I was trying to add to it, but I was just saying they would make no major acquisitions.
I think you're right.
I don't think they did. Yeah, I don't remember hearing about needing
Well, if someone
major.
thinks they did, you can tell us in the comments.
So 2 for 4?
Yeah, well, it's not going to get better. Here we go.
Darn it.
I said a major celebrity, like Will Wheaton level or higher, would get into board games in some prominent way. It did not happen.
I think
I would argue that all the pictures of Henry Cavill at Games Workshop.
Yeah, but what I meant was like they would start a show or do something.
Oh. Okay.
I specifically said that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then I went to some rankings
Chicken and
here.
waffles.
I said Blood on the Clock Tower would
Yeah.
crack the top 100 at Board Game Geek, and at Frosthaven would hit the top 50.
Oh, well, it seems it hasn't been out in time, right?
So as of yesterday, Blood on the Clock Tower is 696,
Okay.
and Frosthaven is 3,044, which is pretty high for a game that's not even
Not even really, yeah.
really
Okay,
out.
Gotcha.
All right, but now I'm feeling good. Here we go.
That's not bad. Neil Patrick Harris did have that box one thing.
That wasn't
That
even
didn't
his
come out in
first game.
2022, though. That came out 2021.
Okay.
I said that no major convention would be canceled. I think that happened. No major conventions were
I
canceled.
don't think so.
Okay,
yeah,
you get
I
a
think
point
that's
for that.
correct. Yeah.
I'm giving you a whole point for that.
Yay. All right, then I said, of the Board Game Geek top 10 of 2022, 1 would be GameFound, and at least 6 would be Kickstarters.
Oof.
So here we go.
Of the top 10?
Of the top 10 rated. Here
Okay,
we go.
do
Number
it.
10, Foundations of Rome.
Yes.
Kickstarter.
Dead Reckoning.
Yes.
Planet Unknown.
Yes.
Endless Winter.
Yes.
Long Shot the Dice Game.
No.
No.
Um,
Oh, wait.
No, that was Kickstarter.
Yes,
please.
Yes.
Return to Dark Tower.
Yes.
Nemesis Lockdown.
Yes.
yeah.
Oathsworn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderland's War.
Yes.
Carnegie.
No.
9 out of the 10 were Kickstarter.
Whoa.
However, none were GameFound.
And actually, I'm not even sure about Carnegie. Carnegie
Because-
might have been back kickstarted.
You're right, it was.
Carnegie, yeah.
Yeah, Carnegie. Yeah, with that whole.
Whatever, who cares?
I think that was
So
kickstarted.
10 were Kickstarter, none were GameFound, because I thought, oh, Nemesis Lockdown, but Nemesis Lockdown was actually Kickstarted before the Awakened Realms
Yeah.
moved.
Right.
Guys, so you're basically kind of right, except for the GameFound fascination that is
Hey,
ill-placed and
you also
misfounded.
thought GameFound would be
We
bigger
get
this
half
year.
a point.
They came on like a
Half
Alright.
a point.
Then
Like
I
a
said,
wrecking ball.
2 more predictions left. I said Ark Nova would be in the top 20 of Board Game Geek. It's number 4.
Yeah.
Done. You got a whole point for that. Bam.
And then I said these 3 games would all hit the top 100. Ark Nova, The Crew Deep Sea, and Sleeping Gods. Ark Nova is 4. Crew Deep Sea is 42. Sleeping Gods 78.
Whoa.
You said
So
that would
how
be in
many-
the top 100?
I did.
So how
I guess
many
you had a
total
whole
did you get
point for
right
that.
then?
He's keeping
6?
track.
No, because he's making up numbers.
I'm not making up anything, okay?
half points.
Okay.
I got 4.
You have 4 right, yes.
Okay.
And I said it would be 3.5.
I said 6.
Oh, well.
You did very well.
If
That's actually
GameFound had
pretty
had
good.
a big project, I would have been covered a lot
Yeah,
stronger
yeah,
on
no, that
these
was-
things.
So what about Deborah Ann Wall, who is on, she does BGG's Game Night.
Oh,
You know that actress
from Daredevil.
Daredevil and
Yeah,
the
but she's
vampire
not
thing.
running it. She was a guest on it once.
So you were specifically talking about someone starting something.
Yeah,
Like making a
I
new
thought
Better be
show.
starting
I
something.
thought someone would do something, whether it was on the TV or whatever it might
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
It
okay.
didn't happen.
Or on
Okay.
stage. I want to start a board gaming series on stage.
I love it. I love everything about that idea.
What are you doing?
I was reading with the so we'll see. Next time we're all going to make some predictions for the following year. I'm throwing you guys
Yes.
under the bus there.
I mean, easy.
Are we
Tom's
doing-
going to wear something ridiculously loud and stupid for
gonna do
when we
10 or 3?
discuss them.
I don't know. We'll figure that out in the meantime. It's a while from now. All right, folks. That's it. We're done here. Well, in 11 minutes, we'll be back playing Bullet Star.
Ooh.
So you get to see that played live. Then, of course, lots of other things are happening over the course of today, including our top 10 later on at 2 o'clock. Anyway, thanks for watching Board Game Smorgasbord. Until next time, I'm Tom Bassel.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun eating, what's that called again?
Steak frites.
Yeah, it's
Doner
waffles,
kebab.
man.
Chicken and waffles.
Falafel, 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 falafel.